Welcome to Conversations with the ERC5. Today I have with us Dylan Pilon from Cloud9 Marketing Group. Dylan, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me on, Grace.
It's a pleasure. So, where do we begin? I want to know, a young entrepreneur such as yourself, what sparked you to create this business?
Well, the short story is that I was working in corporate America. I always say I had my big boy marketing job. And through a couple of experiences that you find in corporate America that are often out of your control, things that are happening at the C-suite level of an organization, and there's a lot of changes and the plans change, and the people that are a little bit lower on the corporate ladder are then affected by that. And I realized, thankfully, at an early age, that I didn't want to be in a position where that was going to continue to happen to me over the course of my career. So I made a decision at 23 to start the company. And then by 25, I was out of corporate America and fully invested in Cloud9 Marketing Group.
That's fantastic. And I truly admire you for that. I think it's wonderful when young people take that initiative, because it's not an easy step to take. And it's a lot of work getting a business up and off the ground, but it certainly has its rewards. So once again, kudos to you. Now tell us a little bit more about Cloud9 Marketing Group.
Yeah, thank you for the compliments. I really appreciate it. And I don't take for granted the position that I am in. I'm very thankful for the opportunity that I have to do what I do and to kind of be in control of my own destiny. And I encourage everybody to find something that they're passionate about and try to see if you can turn that into a side business, because the experience that you gain from, being an entrepreneur or running your own business can be applied to all facets of your life. So I think it's definitely beneficial. But Cloud9 Marketing Group is a digital and social media marketing agency. So we do everything from creating content for our clients to managing communities by replying to comments, messages, and reviews, running those pesky little ads that follow you around the internet, whether they're in social media or in Google. We're also a Yelp agency partner, and we have the ability to run ads on Hulu as well, which is a Disney-owned platform. And we do email marketing and all sorts of stuff. So really, we try to be a resource for small to mid-sized businesses that are looking to connect with their customers online and to develop new leads and relationships online. That's kind of the purpose that we serve for their marketing department or their marketing team.
Well, I certainly encourage people to give you a call, and especially when you're a new business, or even when you're an established business and now you're taking a new direction, there's a little rebranding going on, all of that. That's a great time to reach out to you.
Yeah, the good thing about marketing is that no matter what stage of the business cycle or life that you're in, everybody needs marketing, right? Whether you're doing very well and you want to continue to do well, or if you're a little slower than you'd like to be, or if you're somewhere in the middle where you're just steady. Every company should be working on their personal branding and establishing relationships, generating new leads, and kind of fostering those leads to develop into clients in the future. So that's one thing that's sort of sustainable about marketing, is that everybody always needs it.
Absolutely. The thing is, though, sometimes as a small business, we're wearing a lot of hats, right? And we are so cognizant about where every last dime is going. Mm-hmm. And we think, I can do marketing. I can put a post up on social media, mm-hmm. and that's all there is to it. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. And also that's something that can set you back. I mean, you can speak to that.
Yeah. So the reasons why somebody would hire us, there's three main reasons. They either don't know how to do what we do, they don't enjoy doing what we do, or they don't have the time to do what we do. And you're right. You can't just sort of check the box to say, oh, I haven't posted something on my business's Facebook page in a couple of days, so I need to throw something up just to say that I did it, right? You need a cohesive strategy. You need a plan. And then you need to create thoughtful, engaging content that's going to resonate with your customers to help accomplish the goals in that marketing plan. And there is a lot of strategy that goes into it, from defining who your target audience is, figuring out what your budget's going to be, developing the different types of content, writing all the copy that goes with that creative, whether that's a photo or a video. And then after it's been deployed, that's only half of it, right? Because then you have to manage the workflow. So if you have a successful piece of content, you're going to be getting comments and messages. Your clients are going to be leaving you reviews, and you need to handle that workflow and reply to all of those things. So that there's a second half to that piece. And then there's all the data and the analytics. So after the campaign's been launched, how do you evaluate performance and then decide what you're going to do moving forward for that plan? And how are we going to change that plan based on past success or things that we think that we can do better, right? So certainly more that goes into it than just throwing a post up against the wall and seeing if it sticks.
Much more complicated than that.
Yeah.
And again, that's why I encourage people to definitely give you a call. And many times we have businesses that call in, and I'm thinking of opening a business. I'm thinking about doing this. And it's like, okay, so let's check off some boxes here. You know, you need to speak to a banker. You need to check this off. And then it's like, and you need to give Dylan a call because you do need to know what your mission is. Mm-hmm. What message do you want to convey to the public? Mm-hmm. And how is that going to look as you go forward and you start marketing to everyone? And again, as a small business, it's really easy for us to think that I can do that myself. But there's so many different components. And if one of those dots isn't connecting just right, everything doesn't come together.
Yeah. Marketing certainly isn't the first stop for a new business. I would say having an attorney, good insurance policies, talking to a banker, all of those resources available at the ERC5, by the way. But marketing is certainly up there on the list of things that need to be well thought out. And you need to have a really solid, comprehensive plan in place, because you only have one chance to launch a business. And doing that in the correct way, I think, is of the utmost importance to the success, especially when you're first getting started. So if you have any questions, certainly feel free to reach out to a professional. I would be more than happy to speak with you and see if there's anything we can do to get you on the right track.
So now if we can touch base on branding, because that's been a big topic lately. Some of our members are looking to rebrand. And then, of course, we have a member who is now taking her photography business and kind of focusing on just the branding piece of it. Mm-hmm. Can you talk to us a little bit more about the importance of branding? For sure, yeah. I like to say that there's sort of two sides to marketing. There's the branding, and then there's the lead generation and the sales side. And you need both to be successful in your overall marketing plan. Of course, you need sales to keep the lights on, right? But I believe that in the long term, that branding actually wins over sales. I like to say that when Coca-Cola spends $3 million on a Super Bowl commercial, it's not because they expect you to get off the couch and go to the store and buy a can of Coke. It's because the next time you're out, they don't want you to order a Pepsi, right? And that's brand. And it can be really powerful when it's leveraged and done the right way. Mm-hmm. And I think I mentioned it earlier. It's when you're trying to develop a brand, it's problem solution, but through the eyes of the consumer. So you need to solve a problem that the consumer's having, or you need to, ignite a pleasure point, provide them some sort of joy or some sort of value, and building your brand around those kind of principles.
When people make a purchase decision, I think you need to go to their heart first, then their head, and then their wallet. And I think companies make the mistake of just trying to go directly for the wallet or trying to appeal to logic and reason without making an emotional connection. And I think those are really important things to keep in mind when you're talking about developing a brand.
Absolutely. I know for myself, it's all about who that person is. I want to know more about them. Here is business ABC, but tell me about the owner. Who are they? What do they stand for?
Yeah.
What is their mission?
Yeah.
And, once all those pieces connect, then I'm your customer for a very long time.
Yeah, I think Simon Sinek had a TED Talk about your why and finding your why it is that you do what you do, and sort of those core principles and the driving factor behind why you are in business. And I think that's an important part of establishing a personal brand too. People like to do business with people. They don't do business with logos. And while when people think of branding, they might think of something like a logo or a color scheme or a font. And that is part of your brand style guide, right? But, why you're doing what you're doing, and again, establishing that emotional connection with a customer is really going to create that brand evangelist, someone who's going to keep supporting you and telling other people about you, and they'll continue to come back.
Yeah, leads to a great pipeline.
For sure.
You'll always have customers once you get your message out there and the consumer understands it and believes in it. They're going to be right there and support you. Mm-hmm. Well, we are very excited to have you in the membership here at the ERC5. You have been phenomenal resource for me as we plan our events out, and you take care of doing all of that. And you're a great educator, too, because I was one of those where, let's just put a post out there and it'll be great. But there's so much more to it. And I thank you for guiding me. And I encourage our members to reach out to you just to get that guidance. Again, if you're a new business thinking of starting up, if you're rebranding, if you've been around for a while, but you're a little flat and you think, how can I take this to the next level? I really think they should definitely give you a call. How would our membership get in touch with you? What's the best way to get a hold of Dylan?
Yeah, first off, thank you for the continued support. I really am greatly appreciative of the relationship that Cloud9 Marketing Group has with the ERC5. And if anybody is interested in getting in touch with us, you can visit our website. It's cloud9marketinggroup.com. And then you can also send an email to info@cloud9marketinggroup.com.
Thank you so much, Dylan. I appreciate your making time for us today.
Thanks, Grace.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us today. If you'd like to see this podcast or visit some of our other ones, please go to our website at ERC5.com. And I would like to take this opportunity because many of you have been asking me, where are we videotaping from? We are at Stonegate Studios in Wilbraham. And Tony and Kirsten and the team here are absolutely phenomenal. And I hope that you will contact us and schedule a time for you to come down here and be our guest on Conversations with the ERC5.